Hello viewers, it's good to have you here once again. I'm in the studio with Dr. Edmond. Today you'll be inspired once more. So let's get straight into the show. Dr. Eddie, welcome.
Thank you for having me on your show, and I'm very glad to be coming here.
Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Well, my name is Edmond Okla. I'm from Ghana, and currently I'm a fifth-year medical student in Tehran University of Medical Science. And I have an educational background of physician assistantship, which I have to shift to medicine because of certain reasons,
Okay. So, mentioning your background in physician assistantship, what motivated you to make that shift?
It has been a long journey, if I should say. Well, since when I was a kid, I have always been dreaming of becoming a surgeon one day. So the moment I completed SHS, the senior high school, and my brother asked me, so what next? Then I was like, I want to pursue my dream of becoming a surgeon. But medicine is a little bit very competitive everywhere in the world. So the admission process and everything, I wasn't able to get into medicine straight away. So the only adjunctive course that I have to do is physician assistantship. And I just grabbed the opportunity that from physician assistantship, I had a dream of also moving on to medicine. That's why I chose physician assistantship first. So if I have to give you a little bit story behind it.
Sure.
So during my physician assistantship studies, I had some professors and they were very good to me. Like one of them is Dr. Nutako, if I could quite remember. He is the trauma and accident emergency head of 37 Military Hospital in Ghana.
Okay.
So during my ward rotations, one day was the way he saw me very interested in taking care of the patient, like I'm taking full responsibility of the patient. As a medical student or as a physician assistantship student, you have limited responsibility. You just go, you take history, and you go away. And you really don't get to do a lot of procedures because there is a resident over there, there is a medical student which you are way lesser than them because you're a physician assistant student. So before it will get your time to do certain procedures, you will not. So I and my friends, I think two of them, we always stayed back. Instead of us to go home, when you say go home, we don't go. We stayed back and we tried to learn when others are not around. So the professor just saw us one day in the night around 11 p.m. And I was like, what are you physician assistant student doing over here? And I was like, we want to learn, that's why we are here, and we want to take care of the student. Then one day he just called me, Edmond, you should try and start looking for another opportunity to pursue. Leave the PA and go into medicine straight so that your career years will be shortened. Do you get it?
Wow.
That's why I came into MD now.
Great. So, moving from PA to MD, has it been easy?
Well, let me say it has been easy because there is no difference between physician assistantship and doctor of medicine. They are all patient-centered care. It's just like, let me say, in physician assistantship, your workload has been lessened because you study medicine maybe 5.5 years or 7 years, but in physician assistantship, you are studying it within 4 years, and everything has been sieved. So you get to study the just surface of the anatomy, surface of the physiology, surface of the medicine. So migrating from physician assistant to MD, it's not really a hard thing. You just have to adjust yourself to accept more responsibilities to do it. That's all, you see.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if you are ready to accept more responsibilities, then you should move from PA to MD. Great. In medicine, medical school,
Yep.
what has been the most challenging thing about medical school for you?
Well, talking about challenging thing in medical school, I can categorize it in different ways. We have the environmental aspect.
Yes.
Then we have the medical aspect per se, the course content per se.
Yes.
If I talk about the environmental aspect, that means, you know, for example, I'm in someone's country and I'm trying to study medicine in their language.
Yeah.
Even my own language, my own mother tongue, I really can't speak, you know, because my mom doesn't speak this mother tongue with me. I only studied in English and those kind of. So the language barrier alone will limit your spirits down.
Yeah.
And as compared to my previous studies in English, my performance has really come though, but at least I'm an average student right now. I'm passing my courses and I'm trying to learn. How I overcome this is constantly trying to watch videos, local videos, like how they speak their language, and practicing more on the language, and it is really helping me. When it comes to the medical aspect is time management. Time management is the most important thing, because you are given maybe a volume of book like this to study within 1 week, then the following day exams. So how are you going to manage your time to complete all these things? It's very important. But you know, with my elder brother always tells me something. He said strategic planning.
Yeah.
With strategic planning, you can cover this book and you can assimilate the information that you get. Then you will pass your exams. That's what I have to do. Yeah.
Strategic planning. So don't get scared of the volume of book. With strategic planning, you grasp it, you assimilate it, and you excel in your exam. Now, Doc, a typical day in the hospital for you, how does it look like?
Well, right now, since I'm doing my clerkship, my clinical rotation, a typical day for me, when you get to the hospital, you have to go to your patient, the allocated patient. You go there with your intern or your resident before your professor will come.
Okay.
So you go, you evaluate, you assess, you check everything among the patient, what's wrong, what happened previous day, what's happening right now. You write everything, then you wait for your professor to come. So when your professor comes, then you do patient presentation to your professor. So whatever management that you guys, your team has done, your professor will either assess it, that is it good, is the patient getting better, is it getting bad, so what are we supposed to do to help the patient? And there will be discussion. You know, in medicine, there's a lot of exchange. It's not like your professor just puts everything on you or you put everything on your professor. It's exchange. Let's exchange of ideas, because we can't think like the same. So your professor is always constantly looking for your knowledge, and you are also constantly looking for knowledge from your professor. Wow. This is a typical day in the hospital.
Wow, a typical day in the hospital. You have to be prepared, you have to know your patient, and you have to exchange information and ideas with your professor. That's great. That sounds like, you know, you enjoy it.
I really enjoy it, medicine.
5 years in medicine. Which part of medicine do you love? Gives you a lot of pleasure?
Well, let me say, since I want to become a surgeon, you know, I'm quietly fascinated about the human body, you know.
Wow.
I don't know if God is very great architecture, you know.
Wow. How
he designed the human body, brought a heart, brought head, and how they are working, you know. And if one organ just gets damaged or something like that, everything starts cramping down like that.
Wow.
And a surgeon will come, fix something, and it starts working again.
Wow.
I see this as quite fascinating for me, that I want to at least know how to do it, also help to bring the body up.
Wow.
So if you see me in the hospital, I'm always closer to the surgeons. I want to learn something new. I want to learn how the body goes. I know there is other aspect of medicine that it's also there, but for me, I'm always interested in the human body, like the surgery aspect.
Yeah.
That's it.
And it's clear you are going to be a great surgeon.
Inshallah. we will do
Okay.
that.
Now, for our viewers, anyone contemplating, thinking of going into medicine, maybe from the background of a PA or from any other background, what advice will you give?
Well, the advice, let me say, medicine is not easy. To be honest with you, it's really not easy. But I always say there is nothing difficult under the sun. This has been my word and my sentence that I have always carried alongside me. There is nothing easy under the sun. So you can do it with what? With hard work, hope, and perseverance. You can do anything under the sun. So let me say, you come into medicine, try to organize yourself, try to focus on your dream, try to what? Do anything that will make you achieve your dream, and you're gonna make it.
And
That's
you
it.
will definitely make it.
it.
Yeah, so hard work, perseverance, and have hope, that you will achieve it. Thank you, doctor, for coming, and then thank you, viewers, for being with us. See you next time.
Thank you.
Doc.
Yeah.